Meanwhile, on the John Campea Show.
Star Trek Picard Season 3 is just a love letter to the next generation. And to Deep Space Nine, to be honest. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that.
Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss? Where today I'll be looking to who from the beloved series Deep Space Nine could be returning for the third and final season of Star Trek Picard. While the producers of Star Trek have been relatively tight-lipped about the plot of Season 3 of Picard, there have been some interviews that seem to hint at the return of not only one, but two former Star Trek crews. We know that the third season of Picard will be heavy on Star Trek nostalgia, with the main cast from The Next Generation returning for Picard's final chapter. Of course, this means that we are already getting one character return from Deep Space Nine as well, and that is Worf.
I will not play the fool for Q's amusement!
Who, besides starring on 7 seasons of The Next Generation, also starred on Deep Space Nine for 4 seasons. Worf's appearance on Picard will make it very easy for the writers to bring the audience back to Deep Space Nine, and if you have been following the different people behind the scenes that make Star Trek, this appears to be what they are planning. Not only that, but it is very possible that we will see the return of Avery Brooks as captain and emissary to the Prophets, Benjamin Sisko, something that fans have been wanting for years. But before I get into all the evidence that we will see Sisko and DS9 on Season 3 of Picard, I want to thank you for clicking on this video, and ask that if you do enjoy it, to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hey, just real quick, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, Astro Kings. Astro Kings is the ultimate real-time multiplayer sci-fi mobile game. It challenges you to rewrite the human history in deep space after the Crux invaded your planet. You can now immerse yourself in this epic free-to-play mobile game, available in iOS, Android, and Windows. For 2 weeks, Astro Kings will be celebrating its 4-year anniversary. From the 17th till the 30th of August 2022, there will be special pirates and pirate bases spawning in the universe. Enjoy the double item drop during the weekend and don't miss out on your chance to get free spaceships and heroes. Your task is to revitalize the colony, fight aliens and pirates that want to raise your civilization to the ground. As the new commander, you will learn everything about running the Imperium, managing resources, rebuilding facilities, and growing the most powerful starship fleet to protect and defeat your enemies. Manage your colony by harvesting and collecting galactic resources and setting planetary policies to lead your people. Recruit and collect legendary galactic heroes that will help you complete your missions and lead your battles to victory and conquest. Build new starships, including cruisers, interceptors, and motherships, in order to vanquish space pirates, galactic criminals, and alien fleets. Research weapons and technologies to strengthen your nation's power and prestige, as well as your starship fleet. Also, you get to complete daily missions and collect special rewards. You can join powerful alliances by creating a planetary assembly and joining a galactic federation to team up with other players. With that power, you can immerse yourself in cinematic 3D graphics in epic MMO and PvP battles. By clicking the link in the top of the description below, or by scanning the QR code on screen, and don't forget to use the exclusive code AK4TH and claim the special anniversary rewards. First, I want to look at all the evidence that we will be seeing more of Deep Space Nine in the next season of Picard. The inclusion of Worf is a big hint that we will at least get a mention of what has occurred on DS9 since he left the station to become a Klingon ambassador in the show's finale. In the short trailer that was released at Comic-Con this year for the third season of Picard, you can see that Worf is still wearing a Starfleet uniform and that he has 4 pips on his collar, which would make him a captain. I actually did a video after Comic-Con about what I think this could mean for Worf that I will leave a link to here and in the description if you would like to check it out. But if Worf is a captain, there's a distinct possibility that he is now the captain of Deep Space Nine, and that is where Picard and others will find him when the season begins. This would be a great way to include DS9 on Picard, and this would also give the audience a chance to see what the station looks like years after we last saw it. In the timeline of Picard, it's been about 25 years since Worf and others left Deep Space Nine in the series finale, which could mean that if the show does visit the station 25 years later, we could see some faces that we remember, such as Commander Kira or Quark. While there is still a question whether or not we will see Deep Space Nine on Picard, we do know that the station will at least be appearing in one other Star Trek series, and that is the animated series Lower Decks. In the trailer for that show's upcoming season, there are shots of that crew on DS9, and show creator Mike McMahon said the following about the station showing up on his show. Oh, we circle Deep Space Nine, we check out the pylons, and then we go in to Deep Space Nine, where we will walk the promenade, we will enjoy the Cardassian architecture, jump sticks, and you might see some friendly faces in there. The series Lower Decks takes place in-universe only about 1 year after the series finale of Deep Space Nine, so I think we can bet that we will see many characters still on the station, but in animated form. This will allow the actors to return and voice their characters for some fun scenes, but I doubt that the writers would have a major event like the return of Sisko on a show like Lower Decks. But since Lower Decks will be the next series released by Paramount, we already know that we will be able to return to DS9 sooner rather than later once that episode comes out. But besides their appearance on Lower Decks, I believe that we will see some characters from DS9 return in live form on Picard, thanks to comments made by Alex Kurtzman, Terry Matalas, and Robert Meyer Burnett. Now, if you follow Star Trek, you probably recognize the first two names I rattled off, but the third may not be as familiar to you. Robert Meyer Burnett is not only a film critic and filmmaker, but he has also been a consultant on many Star Trek projects past, present, and future, and is currently a commentator and analyst on the John Campea podcast. Recently, during a discussion on the podcast about the first season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Mr. Burnett revealed that he had seen at least some of the third season of Picard, which he is very excited for, and he also revealed the following about the upcoming season.
Star Trek Picard Season 3 is just a love letter to the next generation. And to Deep Space Nine, to be honest. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that.
Yes! Now this of course could mean a lot of things, but hearing this from someone who has seen the season is all but confirmation that Deep Space Nine will be a focal point for at least part of Season 3 of Picard. Then there are the comments made by Alex Kurtzman, the head of all things Star Trek at Paramount. During the Picard panel at Comic-Con 2022, he was asked if there have been any discussions about bringing characters back from Deep Space Nine, other than Worf, of course. He answered, "I'm trying to answer your question without revealing anything. I think you're always having conversations about the history of Star Trek, and obviously, Sisko is a critical figure for everybody. So, conversations definitely have been had." If Sisko is returning, you can understand why Alex Kurtzman would not want to give something like this away at this time if Paramount had not decided to reveal this to the audience. But I find it interesting that while the question was about the cast of Deep Space Nine returning, Alex Kurtzman decided to bring up the Sisko character specifically. Not only that, but he chose to emphasize how important that character is. If you look around at all of the new Star Trek being produced in the last 5 years, each series has brought back characters from other series to interact with their casts. But surprisingly, there have been no characters returned yet from the cast of Deep Space Nine, even though that series is often cited as a fan favorite, present company included. It could be that Alex Kurtzman has had a plan to bring these characters back for some time now, but since Sisko is so integral to that story, they have not been able to bring anyone back until they do Sisko. Finally, there have been some comments made by Picard showrunner Terry Matalas that also makes it seem like Deep Space Nine will be a big part of Season 3. For instance, a fan sent out a tweet that stated that he believed that Mr. Matalas was a fan of Deep Space Nine and that we would get a mention of the cast or series during Picard's second season. Mr. Matalas chose to answer this tweet very succinctly, simply stating that he was in fact a fan of DS9 and that we would be seeing more of his love for the series in Picard's third season. In another tweet, Mr. Matalas is asked if Worf will be on the same trajectory that he was in a novel that was tied to the events that occurred on Picard, which saw Worf taking command of the Enterprise E. Mr. Matalas said the following, "You'll just have to see. I'm just saying, that's not where we meet him here. He's on another track, one related to the Dominion War. Now I've said too much, bye." Now, the mention of the Dominion War is of course a direct reference back to Deep Space Nine, since the threat of the Dominion, as well as the subsequent war, were major plot lines that encompassed the entire series. The Dominion War ended when the female changeling surrendered to Federation and Klingon forces in the show's final season and has barely been mentioned in any other series or movie since. If Worf is still on some type of mission that involves the Dominion, or his past experience in the war, then it will have to also have something to do with his time on Deep Space Nine. This storyline could also give the audience a chance to learn what Jean-Luc Picard and the rest of the crew of the Enterprise were doing during the Dominion War, since that has also never been mentioned on screen. As a fan of Deep Space Nine, I really hope that we return to the station on Picard. Terry Matalas has said on many occasions that his mission as the showrunner of Picard is to give fan-favorite characters better endings than they were originally given, which is why we have seen so many characters from the Next Generation and Voyager return on this series. This would seem to fit the characters of Deep Space Nine perfectly, since as I mentioned earlier, there's been little to no mention of them since the series ended. Benjamin Sisko is without a doubt the character that most fans would like to see, since not only is he very popular, but the ending that his character was given did not seem to be an actual ending. In the final episode of the series, after defeating his rival Dukat, Sisko was seemingly killed, but then returned in the form of a prophet or wormhole alien.
If you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Even his final words to the woman he loved, Claire Finn, Cassidy Yates, seemed to hint at a future for this character.
When will you be back?
Maybe a year.
Making Sisko seemingly omnipotent gives Picard basically another version of Q to bring into the series, meaning that since he can travel through space and time easily, then that means that Sisko could show up virtually at any point or anywhere. Given Alex Kurtzman's comments about the importance of the character, I really do believe that Sisko will be a part of the upcoming third season of Picard, and that we will finally get a true ending for his character. But let me know in the comments, do you think that we will see the return of Benjamin Sisko, and if so, how do you think he will come back? Well, that is everything I have this time, but let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Also, don't forget to download Astro Kings and use the QR code to help support this channel. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please hit that like button if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?